We've started late.
It's Christmas.
We're on. Yeah. Who's watching us? You know,
Christmas past.
The chat's live, folks. If you're out there, chime in. We're live, somewhat live. I think Rex is the only one watching us this morning.
Yes, I'm keeping a close eye on you, Randy.
Sure. Let me fix my Facebook page here if I can. There
Rex,
it is.
do you live on the moon?
For private. Nobody lives on the moon.
No
communication. But I do eat them.
Nobody does eat them. There you are.
Okay.
In celebration of us looking at Blueberry 5 this morning, Rex has dedicated himself to eat 5 of those blueberry moon pies.
No, now that I've looked at the ingredients, I'm kind of scared of them.
I don't blame you. Mighty Geek in the house says, Merry Christmas, everyone. Merry Christmas to you too, Mighty Geek. Deeply appreciate you being here. We're looking at Blueberry 5 this morning. It's a great book. Great book. 5th in the series. Probably the end of the Blueberry Westerns that we'll look at. There's still some young Blueberry that we can look at, but I think the quality on those are a little bit lower than the stuff we're looking at now. I don't think they were done earlier either. I think they were done later on. I don't even know if Moebius did them. I'm going to have to look at it and see. He probably did. We'll run the opening and we'll get to business here. We're not sure where Russ is this morning. He might be sleeping in.
After a big meal after Christmas.
Could be.
Never read the ingredients on snack foods, Mighty Geek says. That's true.
What was that? This is not a charade. We need total concentration. Now, once again, this time, with theory.
Come on in, folks. We see you out there. I just sent Russ a message if he's coming on this morning.
That's the way we should always start every day.
With cupcakes and an explosion? Heck yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way I feel about it.
Hey, Marv. Good morning.
Good morning. Up. Where are you? There you are. No, that's not it.
Let's talk about some awesome stuff besides boobs.
Hey, geek. There we are. Never read the ingredients on snack foods. Mighty Geek. It's save yourself the trouble. Good morning and Merry Christmas. Got up at 6:30 to draw today. I'll be at home for a few days, making things done. Cool. Let's talk about awesome stuff besides boobs. Comics. Yep. That's right. Howdy, Rex. Lemon pie in the house. If you look at
everybody had a great Christmas, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, whatever they celebrate.
Whatever holiday you want to be happy in. We hope you had a good one. Boxing Day.
Right. Yep. Sit there in your happiness. Yeah, Boxer Day. That was yesterday.
Yeah. We hope everybody minded their ref and went to a neutral corner. Absolutely.
I'm glad to see that Glenn's not beat up.
I don't think they do Boxing Day over in the UK.
Surviving Boxing Day.
Yeah, we do Boxing Day. Yeah, of course we do.
Do you? Okay. Yeah. Well, I didn't know.
But it's nothing. I knew
the Queensberry rules.
Nothing to do with boxing, though.
I know.
I knew that.
Well, you Americans, you're not very well educated. I needed to say something.
No, actually, we're not. No.
Just to clarify.
I got to do is travel on Facebook and see how educated we are. Yeah. See what all the friends are. Yeah. No, I talked to I used to get books printed over in Canada at Windsor, and I told him Boxing Day, that's the day you all get together for the big match, right? And he started laughing. He explained it to me. He said, no, it's when we box everything up after Christmas. I said, why are you in such a hurry? He always said that we as Americans were always running around working too hard and doing all it needs to take life slower. And here the next day after Christmas, they're boxing stuff up. Anyway, Doctor Who annual. Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, BBC America had a marathon of all of the Doctor Who Christmas specials. So, except for the newest one, which they don't have rights to. That was on Disney. But anyway,
I saw 4 seconds of that new one. That was enough.
saw the guy running around in what looked like a dress.
Exactly.
I was all right in a hospital. Yep.
What have they done?
I'm okay. Click.
But then again, I've not watched it since Eccleston, so I don't know.
Lemon says it's about boxing gifts.
Well, you always hear rumors about them finding footage or maybe stuff that was clipped or whatever. I think they actually have, and they're going to release the War Games colorized. I mean, you can see stuff about it on YouTube. So that's something that's intrigued me. I started collecting or really watching and taking Doctor Who seriously, the classic Doctor Who, and getting into the new series when I was 50. I'm 59 now. So it's been just right at 9 years. And since then they found, and completed some of the stuff. So I think Russell T Davies is trying to colorize some of the black and white first and second Doctors. I'm all for that,
Have you seen the back of TV21 with the Dalek strip on Rex?
I'm aware of it.
From 1965.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just asking if you've seen it.
Yeah.
You've been so young.
They collected all of that too, didn't they? I think.
Well, they started with Hartnell, and then they just kind of continued it on, didn't they, to the end? I guess, of the magazine.
No, it wasn't. It was.
And Hartnell had like 2 grandchildren, right?
I've got no idea.
On the show, yeah.
I don't know. I've no idea.
Yeah, he left one of them behind. One of them traveled with him for a while, and then he left her behind as well. Then he shifted into
on the show.
Next.
Yeah,
Troughton.
Mm-hmm. I always forget about Peter Cushing playing because that was maybe some of the worst stuff that he ever did. It was basically just a retelling of the TV shows.
Yeah, there was a whole period there when he was
in color in the 60s.
Yeah, there was a whole period there when he was at Hammer that he was doing a lot of different things.
They put Peter Cushing on the films because he was a big name and William Hartnell wasn't.
Yeah.
And I understand what you're saying now. His grandchildren, he was with his grandchildren in the films. I was thinking of the TV show because you said Hartnell. So, and Bernard Cribbins and people like that.
This is a Brit that insults Americans. That is new. Never seen that before. Sorry.
Touche, lemon pie.
Rex, I hope you had a good Christmas. Lemon says. Folks, I'm your host.
I got to meet my nephew's new bride. She got married back in October, and it turns out I used to pick her up at the high school and take her to karate class. She got her black belt when she was 10 years old, and she was like, "Oh, I know, that's where I know you from. You used to pick me up for karate class." Did that for 4 years.
Small world. Never knew where that would end up, huh? You never know. Folks, I'm your host, Randy Zimmerman. You can find my work over at arrowcomics.com or .store. If either of them sites are up, there's stuff there for you to take a look at. There are lots of different books. And right now I'm writing The Atlantean that Russ Leach is drawing, and working on a few other side projects, including some monkey business that might actually get around to next year. So hopefully.
I interviewed the creator of Sotec yesterday. Of course, he's with Arrow Comics, Randy, and he got his copy of The Atlantean in the other day.
Yeah, that's amazing considering he's in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
And they've had a postal strike. I guess they had to send it UPS instead of the regular postal service.
Just throw it over the border, over the line.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
He's way over in Newfoundland, if I remember right. So he's a little ways away from my throwing
on the
distance.
East Coast, he said.
Yeah. Yep. We hope he's doing well. Hope he had a great holiday.
He printed up Sotac down in Florida, and I said, "Wow, that's a ways away." And he said, "Well, I'm on the East Coast. They just have to deliver it straight up." He said,
"Slide down." Yeah, exactly.
Now, is that where you get all your stuff? Arrow Comics printed is in Florida?
Oh, no. We get them printed all over the place. And wherever Critical Blast gets their stuff printed from. I have Comics Wellspring about 45 minutes from my house. So I was getting a lot of stuff printed by them there for a while until they seemed to have jacked their prices up a year or so ago. And I'm like, they had a fantastic Black Friday sale. That was great. I spent a lot of money with them. Had 100 copies of different comics done, and I was getting ready for this last year's Black Friday, and they didn't do it. They raised their prices instead, and I'm like, oh, great. And it's not like I'm doing a lot of conventions, so I'm not moving a lot of floppy books, and Diamond's not carrying.
Well, I noticed that Rolling Man with Silverline Comics, and this was kind of in Luke Stone's original kind of look for the platform of Fun My Comic, right? That he's opened up a sort of online story for all if you miss the back issue bundles. I think that's brilliant. Yeah,
that's coming. We're going to have one of those over there as well here in the next couple of months. Yeah, no problem. Yep, and the full campaign's still available over at Fund My Comic. If you haven't seen that comic, that's a fun book that I wrote that Chris Tyson did the artwork on. But other than that, there's all sorts of stuff. Just check me up on Amazon. Also joining me this morning is Mr. Glenn Fleming. Speaking of Amazon, you can find him all over Amazon as well. Glenn, introduce yourself, please.
Hi, everybody. Merry Christmas and all that. Happy holiday. I'm Glenn Fleming. I'm a writer, artist, and publisher. I write books. I've got 12 published so far on different subjects. Relevant to this show, of course, is my book about going to see Jack Kirby at his home in California. And it's got lots of photographs of me with Jack in there. I also I'm a cartoonist artist, and you can find my book, my latest character, Hatch, on Fun My Comic. This details, he's about 40 years old now. This has got published and unpublished artwork in it, pencil work in it, how he came to be, all kinds of stuff. So get that on Fun My Comic. And I used to publish Crikey, which is the Great British Comics magazine, which is 52-page black and white, even though this is in colour. This is the odd one that was in colour. And I also publish...
That's a great title.
Comics Unlimited, sometimes 100 pages. This one is always in colour. And you can get that on Amazon as well. So just put Amazon...
How did you do the Joe Staten interview on that one? How did you do the interview with him?
I didn't do the interview.
Over the phone, or?
I didn't do it. A guy in America did it. A guy in America knows him, and we did it that way. So I didn't actually speak to him. So that's just go to Amazon and you'll find lots of my stuff there.
Comics Unlimited has a lot of different articles by a lot of different contributors. So
I'm thinking to put it out on PDF. I'm thinking about putting it next year. Get the separate issues or maybe put them all together in some volumes. Yeah. It needs to get out there. There's lots of good stuff in there.
Right. Also joining us this morning, Mr. Happy Face, Rex. Rex, introduce yourself. He's on a slate.
Can't be happy this time of year. Bah humbug. Rex Christian on YouTube every day for the 4 o'clock shadow. That's 4 Central, 5 Eastern. My project's up on Fun My Comic, Devil Flyer, and just happy to be here.
Great.
Blueberry number 5 right now. So this is some good stuff to look at.
Great material here. Excuse the small earthquake as we get set here. There we are. Blueberry number 5.
I saw a set of 1 through 5 of these, probably in new condition, right, on eBay for well over $300.
Mm-hmm. Seen them individually for about 300, 324.
Really?
Often.
Wow.
Yeah, it gets crazy. Well, the stuff hasn't been printed often enough, and it's really prime, beautiful material. So the demand is high.
Mm-hmm.
They should do a large format for it.
Yeah.
So we can see the artwork.
Like an artisan edition
size. Let's hope the lettering is better on this one.
It's not
no guarantees.
Not so much the lettering as the fitting it in the balloons.
Man, let's get into it here. Sorry, folks, still getting situated.
Earthquake.
Small one.
That's it. That's it.
Blueberry 5, Jean-Michel Chaugier, and Jean Gerard, otherwise known as Moebius. See, we have 3 volumes of the ink we'll get to cover. And I think we only got a couple of them in. We only got 3 in on the initial 6. So there's still more Moebius that we can go over. So book 9, the last card. And no, we can already see the lettering's not gotten any better.
Yeah. But we said that's because of the translation, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, they had to squeeze that in here. They could have done that a little better. It's a little tight here.
Yeah, the placement's not always good.
Nope.
I suppose they weren't allowed to edit, were they? You know, a good editor would cut that down, I suppose. But
probably didn't want to.
Yeah. Spend any time on it. Yeah.
Well, not only that, but this is classic stuff, so you don't want to edit too much. Just saw an article today about how Amazon Prime has gone through and edited out some of their classic movies. They cut like 15, 20 minutes out of It's a Wonderful Life. It's crazy.
That was a good move. That was a good move, wasn't it?
Yeah.
How do you think the sales on these books were? I don't, the Western was kind of out of the public consciousness, and at least for these later books. I mean, you might argue it was starting to come back with Silverado and other things that were being done.
Not over in Europe.
Here in America.
And anywhere but here in the States, really.
Right.
I don't think it was released by Epic because it was a Western. I think it was released because it was Moebius.
Exactly right. Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Because I wouldn't necessarily buy a Western, but I would always at least look at a Moebius. So I think that's the reason.
Yeah. Yeah, because at the time these were printed, 80, 82, 83. Westerns weren't very popular at all. Rex is right. This is 1990 here.
1990.
Yep. The actual work is copywritten in 83. But the text in that is copyright 1990.
So that's just after he did his Silver Surfer then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And this is odd.
Yeah, it doesn't look right, does it?
Printed unusual. They must have, I don't know if they printed these 2 parts in one page and then this on another page. But most of them during this time period were all printed on, half page size. So.
Well, if you
remind me what he did on Silver Surfer, was it a short limited series, Glenn?
Graphic novel.
Yeah, just a short.
Oh,
thing,
okay. Okay.
But the coloring looks different as well. He's done the coloring.
I bought it when it came out. I may still even have it, but it's been so many years.
The artwork's good, but it's not very good. Yeah.
Do you remember who wrote that?
Yeah, I felt it's a lesser-known writer called Stan Lee.
Oh, okay.
Well, he put the words in anyway. Yeah, it's
Frasick is also credited as well as Moebius on the colors on these.
right.
Stan Lee's heavenly birthday tomorrow.
Is it good for him?
Beautiful shot here. Great crowd scene.
I think
the
what
coloring.
he does.
Go ahead.
Go on, it's okay. Coloring what?
I was going to say the coloring on this is a lot more straightforward.
Yeah, it's a lot flatter, isn't it? That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like him. Must be that other guy. It's not as good.
And the ink work is a lot finer. I mean, in places.
Yeah.
Not as many spotted blacks, not as many thick lines as we used to have. Still great stuff, though. Don't get me wrong, but just a different inking style.
I mean, look at this. Look at that second tier on the left-hand page, the second panel where he's pointing at him, just below.
Yeah.
Look at this shading. That doesn't look like Moebius, does it at all?
No, it doesn't.
Or the Moebius we've been looking at recently. Let's put it that way.
He's one of the most diverse artists I've seen. I mean, it's like he's got several different styles over time, you know.
Yeah. Yep. No word from Russ yet. So he must still be sleeping in, or he's got something he was doing.
Sleeping it off.
It's a nice little panel break here. Finish the hair off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that could be the Hulk coloring green.
Yeah.
Oh, brain hurt.
I mean, this almost reminds me of, what's his name? I've seen this influence of this artist. I'm gonna have to look it up.
See that right-hand page, the third panel on the second tier, the first panel on the second tier, where he's standing up.
Okay. Yeah.
I would have thought Moebius of old would have left those panel lines off.
Yeah. Well, maybe he put them on there to help finish off the balloon, make it one thought. There's a little no break there, but yeah, everything's all inside the panel border.
It just looks not totally different, but a lot different from the previous books.
Yeah.
But if it's 1990, does that mean that it was? Oh no, it was published in 1990 by Epic, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was done in 83.
Yeah, I was thinking it might have had a break, but I think those other ones we looked at were done in 81, weren't they?
Let me take a look. He might have taken a bit of a break in between.
I see a maybe, similarities to Gray Morrow.
Yeah, I could see where you'd think that. Yeah. The number 4 is copyright 82. So he did this after number 4, and we thought number 4 was a step down.
Yeah.
That's last Friday's episode, folks. Oh, yeah, definitely. Number 3 is copyright in 1975.
Oh, there you go.
In 1980. So, yeah, there was a big jump.
So he's got a decade of a break there doing other things, and his style's changed.
He still had more story to tell with Blueberry. So.
How many books of Blueberry are there? Is it 25?
Are there 25?
I'm sure I read somewhere there was 25. I know
there's two per volume here, and then they jump back to prequels, earlier stories of him. This one is the last book, I think, is called The End of the Trail.
Right.
And here it looks like he's being measured for a casket anyway. Oh, he's a tailor. He must be the tailor Vigo was talking about. You planning on giving me a new suit? Si, senor. Hey, an overcoat of wood. I'm the Undertaker. He said, yeah, I got it right. Yeah.
Glenn,
Yeah,
did
some
you
of this-
do anything exciting over the holiday?
What?
Did you
Did you
do
do anything
anything
ex-
exciting? You and your wife do anything exciting?
I don't know what you call it exciting. No, I don't know. No. Yes, no, I don't know. I don't understand why we're talking about Christmas when we're looking at this. We had a great time because we always do. Let's put it that way. Whatever we
There
do.
you are.
There you
Yep.
Anyway, meanwhile, back to the case.
Nice fifth panel, second page with the shadows.
I did something Western related over the holidays. I donated a bit to the Indians, the local natives. Yeah. Most of our casinos in this area are Native American owned. Yeah. There's a drop in the panel border there.
Yeah, looks good.
This whole page to me looks garish. It's got just harsh coloring on it. A lot different from the tones that we had seen before. And this is back to normal here. It looked like, or back to what we had been seeing.
It's certainly not as good, is it? You know, I don't know what's gone wrong, but
still services the story, though. You know, it's still there. It's still great looking stuff. That face is a little red.
yeah, it's a funny thing. He looks like he's about to attack that guy, doesn't
he? Yeah. Nice shot here. No
the
background.
skin tones in this have always been kind of interesting. I mean, you know, especially just some very dark toning on some of the characters.
Yeah. They got more sun.
Is that the same officer at the second to last panel?
Here? No. I don't think it is.
Yeah.
Doesn't look like it.
That's another one. Okay.
Yeah. It's got a lot more of a chin, at least. A little bit more mustache.
Yeah. This almost looks like heavy metal, something you'd see in a heavy metal animated thing.
You get a lot of heavy metal work. Very European. Here we are back to where we were here. A lot more heavier blacks. Of course, we're in a cave or a mine shaft there. Looks like.
Those colors are awful, aren't they?
Yeah, they're like I said, they were pretty garish looking. Kind of bad contrast. Some of it's great, like the little reflection here from the lantern. It's nice.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of it's pretty clashy, you know. The bright orange against the bright blue. Yeah, different.
The paper stock is the same as before, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. The format's exactly the same.
It seems very dark.
Mm-hmm. Marvy says, what I've noticed, that reprints from old books lack quality. Got a reprint from a French comic from the 70s, and it's awful. I'd rather get black and white versions of those issues. Yeah. Well, sometimes, you know, you work off of the best that you can reproduce from. So they might have not had a really good crisp version of that book, or they might have just used a printer with bad equipment or who didn't care. So you never know. There's a lot of different things that could go wrong.
I like how he did the folds on his jacket there on the fourth panel on the second page.
Yeah.
Very simple.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very. The colors are too dark.
That might not be him coloring. He might have colored the last album. You never know. Yeah, and this blue could have been a lot lighter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is certainly one that would have been better in
Just
black and
not the
white.
variation.
Mm-hmm. Much better.
Yeah, there's just not the variation of color that we saw, and the difference in using color to convey light as we saw in some of the early runs.
Yeah. I got 3 out of album 3 here. It's almost the same. Look at that. It's album 3 here. Not as many of the earth tones that we're used to seeing. And this one. Of course, it might be the fact that they're all indoors too.
Yeah.
Wow, that's real dark.
Yeah, it is. Right in there. Pretty harsh.
You got to lose some detail with that.
Yeah. It's just not making it today. I'll just skip through this a little faster. Nice hair, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't care for the coloring on this at all.
Really muddies the art, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the very last panel, that coloring is pretty good because it's the desert, but it's the same on every panel.
Yeah.
It matches her hair.
Yeah. It's a nice expression there, an unusual expression.
Yeah. Now, this doesn't seem as good as what we've been looking at, even though it's very good.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
Almost lose the lettering here. Would have been almost better to knock it out in white.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they've spent a lot of time on this, have they?
They might have kicked it out. I don't know.
Is it Archie Goodwin, editor?
I'm not sure. Let me check. David Scroggy and Claudine Girard.
Is it Janet Gale?
Must be Moebius' wife and David Scroggy, consulting editors.
So it's
Michael
Janet
Clark. Go ahead.
Janet Gale on colours.
Yeah, it does. But there's another. I thought there was another colors up here as well.
Yeah.
Consulting
Carl Potts, editor.
Colors.
Yeah.
Yeah. Janet Gale. Carl Potts was probably running Epic at this point.
I don't think he looked over this one.
I don't know. Well, it was Moebius too. So what are you going to do? They probably were just happy to be able to print it.
Is Carl Potts still around? Is he still at Marvel?
No. He's long gone. He did. I think his last work there was in the 2000s, if I'm not mistaken. He got pushed out during the Gemmis days, if I'm not mistaken. The Bill Gemmis days. I met him a couple of times at shows. He's a nice guy.
He did Alien Legion, didn't he?
Yeah, that's his big thing now. They're trying to get Alien Legion and out in other media.
Mm-hmm.
It's a nice shot if you can see it. A lot of heavy reds and browns. Yeah, see the detail here is practically gone.
Yeah, it's terrible, isn't it? That's awful. I mean, look at that guy. Look at his face where you just pointed there in the second panel and the third panel and that one. His skin's the same color as his hair.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
that's awful. That's terrible.
Not good.
And Blueberry's suddenly got blue hair. I know they do that because it's so black, but it's
yeah.
It's like it's got some blue rinse on it.
Well, it wasn't like that before in the other book.
The soup.
Yeah.
Superman effect.
Did that to him? Let me check here.
This kind of looks washed out.
Kind of used a dark gray. Here's book 3.
Pages look better than the previous ones. I prefer the lighter tones than the dark.
Yeah, kind of used
I agree.
Gray or dark gray.
At least we can see the artwork.
Yeah, I agree. There's a little brighter. They're outside, no?
Definitely a different sensibility of the interior to the exterior shots.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Third panel, first page. Love the shadow of the building there.
Yeah.
Here? Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's certainly strangely colored.
Definitely.
You get a brown shadow in that first panel on the second page.
Yeah. Just notice that. And here it almost wipes out all that detail. So much close to the same shade.
Mm-hmm. Should stand out more, be more contrast.
Mm-hmm. But like Glenn said, I'd love to see an oversized volume of this in black and white. That would be very interesting to take a look at.
It'd be nice to see the it's broken into 2 spreads, the artwork. To see that as a full-size page, just the first 2 tiers of every page. You understand what I mean?
Yeah. Yep.
Rather than just the whole page as it's standing. That'd be nice to see.
Yeah.
Maybe even do a landscape book,
Yeah. Got a couple of them like that in that format that are pretty good. A lot of fun. A few more paws.
I just don't get the sound effects at all.
Marvy says the background colors are always changing. I can't read what it says, but might be because of the mood, right? Maybe, yeah. They were doing that before. They were using color for mood. You're not seeing a whole lot of bright red backgrounds here, though. It's all pretty monotone and earth tones.
Yeah, if you look at that second page, the 4th panel, and the line on the floor, on the ground, those word balloons really ruin that drawing, don't they?
Yeah.
The placement of them and everything. Look at the space to the left.
Here, really bad, yeah.
It's just
here as well.
It's cutting in too much.
Mm-hmm. Here too, just too much.
Yeah.
Oh, but looks odd, and if it's odd, it's going to pull you out of the story. And if it pulls out of the story, it's not that entertaining. Not as entertaining as it could be. Oh, more brown.
Dear.
Oh gosh.
Wow, here
like
it's
he's-
almost all gone.
Oh
It's
dear.
like he's
Oh
spilled
dear.
his red ink all over it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's color
Just
it
a
brown.
mess.
Yeah.
I mean that fourth panel on the second page that you pointed to.
Mhm.
There's so much going on, beautiful horses and stuff, and you can't appreciate any of it.
No.
Even the next panel where you have the blue to, the play of foreground in the darker tone with the warmer color is used more effective in some of the earlier books than what this is.
Yeah.
Same concept, different execution. One works, this doesn't work. Really. Bare minimum. Oh no, that's better.
Here is better. That's a little better. Still, you're missing a lot of that detail here. Open. Yeah.
Paw.
Pause. Boom, boom. You have to really look at this to see that he's holding a pistol.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't even noticed it if you hadn't pointed it out.
Yeah. I think it's a prime example of the color. It's just walking all over the inking, the illustration work. It's not very, not contributing to it at all.
That sixth panel on the first page, Glenn said earlier, it's told in a very straightforward manner. There you go. Yellow, purple, some kind of brownish or whatever, purplish.
Yeah.
It's very, very simple.
It doesn't look to me like it's been painted like the others. I think this is like a mechanical kind of coloring.
You're probably very right. Yeah, I see exactly what you mean. I agree.
Which
Second
is
panel,
good.
first page, though, there is the gradiated coloring on the ground.
Here, yeah. You can still get that mechanically, though.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Glenn. Sorry, didn't mean to step on you.
Which is good in a way. The coloring is mechanical, if it is, because it means that the artwork will still be in black and white.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas I think the other previous books were painted, weren't they?
Yeah.
I wonder where it all is.
No idea.
It's probably lost to history in some private collection somewhere that nobody ever looks at.
Probably.
Is that water reflection?
Nice shot here. Where are we talking?
Panel over from where you were in the yellow.
Yeah.
At the bottom.
Here? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's reflection in the water. The water is suddenly yellow. We all know what that means.
I can see a lot of Dave Gibbons in this artwork.
Yeah, I could see that too. Very much so. It's got that crisp look to it.
Especially with the faces as well. Very Watchmen faces.
With the harsh colors, I was thinking like some of that direct comics that came out in the early 80s, Randy, like the Legion of Superheroes with Keith Giffen artwork with the harsh colors.
Yeah.
Previous page, not so much this, but yeah.
It's about that time period, This is when they were playing around with plastic plates and mechanical separations, and yeah.
Look at that scene. Look at that bottom panel all the way on the second page, all the way up over to the left where they're on the horseback. That all gets lost, really.
Yeah.
So
I was just
small.
going to say that this panel would look completely different if it was painted like the first 2 or 3 volumes. It would look completely different than this.
Mm-hmm. The colors are not always natural, are they?
No.
No.
Wow, that's just pitiful. Look at the eye. Look at the beams of light,
Earthquake,
the
folks.
shafts
Sorry.
of light there on that one panel.
Right here. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just that's not effective, really.
Well, like Glenn said, I think they did mechanical separations on this as opposed to painting it. Probably painted in the computer, for all we know. It's about that time.
Yeah, really early on, really early Photoshop.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well, now Randy, didn't you say that they had taken these 5 issues or maybe even additional material and put it together in a larger book, but it was like an omnibus collection, but it's hard to find?
Yeah, I thought IDW had reprinted it. I haven't talked to Jason. I know Jason got a copy and showed it to me. I don't know if that was in black and white or if it was if it was in color or not. I'll have to ask him about it next time I talk to him. I know it's too early for him to be up, so. But yeah, he was pretty happy that he found it. We always boast about our convention finds to each other anyway, and he definitely stuck that one under my nose. I remember that.
Yeah, all the colors clash with each other, don't they?
Yeah, yeah, that's what I mean.
They're all too dark and they all clash, and it really hurts your eyes to look at it.
It does. And every once in a while you'll get a great panel that like this that's colored real nice, and you go, oh, that's cool. Right. And then everything else is just dark and dismal.
Well, you know, that's that swamp like scene or whatever, you know, in the second panel on the first page. What a lost opportunity, really. It's only about partially there, really, when it comes to the color of what it could have been. Great scene.
Easy to color, though. It's a quickie color.
Maybe they need to retitle this book Rock of the Casbah.
We'll see if things change any in the next album. But yeah, here, look at the harshness of it. This would have looked completely different if it was colored like the first or second album.
The water is a missed opportunity. You could get some really variation of color, but it's all uniform.
Just lost detail here too. There as well. Can't see the guys hardly see the guys on horseback.
Never in the history of mankind has there been water that color.
Yeah.
Not unless it's flowing out of a chemical plant.
Yeah. Paw. Well, shooting in this one seems to be shooting everybody at the end of this episode. He tends to avoid it, doesn't he? And the others.
This is kind of hard to look at, really.
It is, yeah. Pretty harsh here too.
And of course, the color makes the white balloons stand out even more.
That's true, yeah.
Because that's what you see, isn't it? When I look at this work, all I see mainly is a big splodge of color and white word balloons. You have to look closely to see any line work in it, and then you can't point it out. Okay. Not good, is it?
Nice shot, though.
Fantastic drawing, yeah.
Yeah, that's a little rough here. Just drop out all that detail here.
That almost looks like the opening of Once Upon a Time in the West, Leone at the train station.
Yeah.
those clouds don't look like Moebius clouds to me, and
No,
it doesn't
neither
look
does the
round.
sky in general. Yeah, it
Yeah.
doesn't look right.
You think the colorists put those in there, or were they
Don't know.
indicated by Moebius?
I don't know.
Could have just been like I said, could have just been done in a hurry. Just get it done, get it out.
I mean, you could have left them out. You know, you've all been to the desert, and you don't necessarily see many clouds.
They look like puffs of smoke more than clouds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice drawing, though.
Mm-hmm. It's nice here, too, when you can see
Great
the detail.
scene of him peeking over the bar there, but it's all lost because of the coloring of it.
Yeah. That really, even especially with the coloring, it looks like Dave Gibbons' work here.
Yeah.
It really does. I think this is a little better. He's moving the camera a little better than what he was.
Ray, you.
This isn't bad here. It's a pretty nice shot that the balloon wasn't in the way. It's a nice face. The big glaring editor's note here, see Blueberry 1 through 4. You can't help but see. Stuck in his back.
Yeah. Right between the shoulder blades.
Yeah.
Look at the look on that guy's face there, that black guy on that second tier. You know, the waiter or whatever he is. Look at his face. Mm-hmm. That look on his face, that's brilliant. It's like he's saying, what'd you talk about, Willis?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's quite a nice shot. The center panel at the bottom, though, that
yes.
coloring works quite well on that.
Yep. 1 out of 10.
Yep.
You know, it's just fantastic. You can tell they took some time with it on that graduated tone. Beautiful up against that silhouette.
Yeah, that really works. They could have lost the word balloon, couldn't they, and just had a nice shot.
Yeah. Or moved it over.
Yeah.
Tightened it up a little. I don't know. That would have taken work.
That guy looks like Sean Connery in Indiana Jones, doesn't he, with his beard?
My first thought, yeah. He's got a little grain going on at the temples.
Yeah, he's getting older now, isn't he?
Yeah.
Mind you, it's probably all the stress.
Yeah. This is a nice, and again, it's a full page. It's not a 2 half pages, but this is really pretty. I again wish there wasn't any coloring there. The coloring here almost works.
Yeah, you can see what they're trying to do all the way through, but it's not working, is it?
No.
Like you said,
go ahead.
That panel there where he's jumping onto the horse, it just misses it, doesn't it? But you can see what they're trying to do.
Yeah, that whole background should have been about 20% lighter.
I hadn't figured it out.
What do you mean? What they're trying to do? I don't understand.
Well, you said you can see what they're trying to do.
Well, yeah, get the different lighting techniques on it, like in the previous books.
Yeah,
and and all the tones and everything. That you can see what they're trying to do, but they're not pulling it off.
Could be they're just starting to play with Illustrator at this point.
Could be.
You have a little bit of variation in tone here as well, but it's just slight here as well with the rocks.
Well, nothing wrong with the illustration. It's, more
Oh, no.
the word balloons and the coloring.
Yeah. Illustration's great. It's just the coloring gets distracting.
It's like they almost. This is what it seems. I mean, we're being very critical with this issue, aren't we? But
Yeah.
and I'm probably wrong, but it seems to me like they're concentrating more on certain panels than working it as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
And that could be because it's mechanical or in Photoshop or whatever.
Yeah.
Because like I said before, when if I'd been coloring this, if I'd have been hand coloring this, I would be coloring all over the page to get the colors of that subject the same or whatever. You know what I mean? I wouldn't start at the top left panel and color all that, then move to the next one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Let the whole page come together at one time.
Yeah.
A lot of talking here.
He started to go into single pages, isn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, he just jumped into it here. Maybe he figured out this is two halves here. There as well, here as well. But all of album 4 was like that,
Yeah.
Album 4 was full page put together. That's 2 and 2.
Doesn't look as garish.
No, it almost works sometimes.
Yeah. Still a lot of exposition there. That's nice.
He's producing this artwork the way I'm producing my World War II book. I'll tell you what he's doing. If you look at the left-hand page, that's in 2 tiers, isn't it? Sorry, it's in 4 tiers. But we said he's breaking them half and half the pages. Well, if you look on there's a little marker, and it'll say like page 39A, and then underneath it'll say 39B or whatever the page is. And that's so that whoever's putting it together doesn't get it mixed up. But I'll tell you what he's doing what I'm doing, because I've got some A3 paper that I'm using for my book, and I've turned it landscape.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm drawing tiers like this. I'm drawing half pages.
Okay.
And at the end of it, you'll have a massive piece, A2 piece of artwork almost.
Mm-hmm.
But he's drawing it that big to get the detail in and making it workable in those two. So he's sort of drawing. It's like there's 4 pages there. It's broken into 4. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's so that he doesn't need to have a massive piece of paper to get all the detail in. He's working it half and half.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way I'm working on mine.
But that panel really works well.
Yeah, it's lovely, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's always interesting to see how he treats background, middle ground, foreground.
Yeah. We're at the top of the hour, so anybody coming in, we're looking at Blueberry 5 from Epic Comics. Chalier and Moebius is classic Western strip. We are just into the last book here, book 10, The End of the Trail.
Look at that.
Marv says one of the reasons I don't like 90s comics is the coloring, the drawing style too. Too much lines for no reason.
Yeah. Very true. That's that Jim Lee influence, though. Scott Williams, inking, overdone.
Mm-hmm.
But during the 90s, really gave way. Ultraverse come in, Malibu Comics came in, and we're doing illustrator coloring, where before they were using just these garish, horrible plastic plates to do a lot of the coloring, and it was even worse. The coloring was just terrible back then on much cheaper plates. You look through like the Marvel comics back then, they're just stark horrible coloring.
It makes you wonder whether the printers were using the comics to test out these new plates.
Probably were, yeah. Well, they were probably incredibly cheaper. I understand they were plastic plates and they were easy to use, but they didn't realize until, I guess, a couple years in how just absolutely crappy it made the comics look. Had enough people complaining.
The thing that really caught my eye with the Image comics was they were doing lens flare and blurred shots that had not been done before.
Yeah.
That was all Illustrator and Photoshop there off of that.
It's like just because you've got a tool, you don't have to use it.
Well, that was a big problem for a lot. I haven't checked out corporate coloring the last couple of years, but back then it was all flats with a little bit of special effects laid out over top of it out of Photoshop. And most of the time, the way that they did their shading was just by adding instead of doing a darker color, they just slap some gray over top of it, or some brown, or some orange, or purple, dark purple. And it ended up looking dark and abysmal like some of this work has looked. And I always thought that was a cheap out. When also about this period, anime was just starting to break in with these beautiful, solid primary colors all over the place.
Second to last panel, second page there. I like the coloring on the hat.
Yeah. So that panel works real well. Just like this one here. This one here isn't bad either. With it's got a nicer graduated tone, where just the previous story, this would have been a slab of yellow with a slab of dark gray over top of it. No graduation to it at all.
He definitely knows what he's doing to get some distance in some of these shots.
Yeah.
A good sense of depth of field,
Yep.
Like, I love that second panel in a way. Just you can see the mountains through the trees. Second panel on the first page. Second page. Panel on the first page. Yeah. Just that you can see the mountains are back there, but the trees are obscuring a lot of that. And then you have the horsemen there. Paw.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Now back to the darkness. This is kind of rough here.
It just, we started out so, interior shots so garish, and now as we go along, it's gotten a little better. Some near misses, but
could be they're figuring out Illustrator, Photoshop on the coloring and improving as they go.
Oh God, I hope not. It's not a good time to do it in the middle of a project.
Yeah, learn on the job, It's got a nice graduated tone working here that didn't see previously. The panel above it, just about all that detail is gone.
Yeah.
Hard to see.
That character that had the big bulbous nose, the older man, they did a similar with the guy there lying in wait on the ground on the second page. Very similar setup as that other character in the other book.
Yeah.
Sort of looking over his shoulder to what he's looking at, hiding in wait.
Yeah, you really have to look at that to see him here, though, because of the color.
Yeah, nice because of the coloring. Yeah.
This is interesting. Little panel break there just to finish off the hand and the reins. Could have probably gotten away with putting all the dialogue inside the panel instead of stretching
Interesting connection of that last two panels on the first page with the binoculars being the sort of joining of the two panels.
It's a nice touch.
That third panel there, the one below, looks like a photograph, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. He's hit that a couple of times like that, though. That looks that good.
That one from the previous page that you pointed out, Randy, looked like a photograph to me as well. No, further back.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Right here.
Yeah, the one you pointed out right there. Yeah.
Yeah. One of these shows real soon, we'll take a look at Doug Wilde's Western book. Got to pull that off of my shelves. That's very photo reference heavy. It's got some great fun stuff in it.
They don't look like Moebius figures apart from the cavalryman standing there and that guy underneath. The rest of them.
Go ahead.
They don't look like Moebius drawings to me.
His style is morphed.
Yeah.
It's gotten more European, more just straightforward storytelling, it looks like. Very, a lot of the earlier style is gone. Yeah.
Second panel, second page. I wouldn't have put the tumbleweed right over that guy's hat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of an unfortunate alignment, really.
That's his brain coming out.
Mm-hmm. He must have saw the early colors on this.
Just a tribble on the planes. Yeah.
Tribble.
That's what it looks like.
Good one, Randy. Body posture. I mean, some of these, man, you got to wonder, did he, was he using cinema? Was he, what was he? He had to use some reference, right?
Must have been. Yeah.
The uniforms, the correct arms that they carry.
Yeah, I think he does a lot of research.
Which, you can stay at home and do all the research you want nowadays, but back then, and you probably had a stack of books, right? Library.
I would have thought so, yeah.
Videotape was coming in. Yeah.
Right.
About this time. All those old classics were coming out on Betamax and VHS.
Does this drag on to you?
This particular strip?
The story? Rex?
I'm just thinking of, Jack Kirby over the top, put the fist in, have something going on. Not that something's not going on, but it should look interesting. And a lot of this is just like, and it's probably due to the colors. It's just not really grabbing you, the way.
It does seem to be moving very slow to me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that, and I think
so important.
Yeah. And I think what you said earlier is coming through. Moebius is going after a more cinematic look than a stylized sequential art look that he had in the earlier albums.
Mm-hmm. And I enjoy that. Like you say, some of them is almost photorealistic in a way, which is amazing, considering that. I mean, flip back to some of the first pages, Randy. The garishness of it, just the almost hard on the eyeballs.
Yeah.
Look at
Very
that.
much so.
Compared to what we're looking at now.
Yeah,
It really morphed
sure
over the story.
And again, that might be them just getting used to Illustrator, getting used to the coloring technique too.
I'll give them an E for effort, but not much more than that.
Yeah. Marvi says, watching movies so great a way to understanding framing and composition, especially in noir movies. Absolutely. Learned a lot, and I've been influenced by that. Yep.
Mm-hmm. I don't think there's probably an artist alive that, if they've not seen some great cinema, and camera work has not been, it's kind of at this point part of the public consciousness, whether they realize it or not.
Yep.
That guy there on the second page, the fourth panel, looks like he's got Rorschach's coat on.
We're looking here.
That one, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
At least it looks worn. There's a couple of nice angles here.
I'm just trying to work out what that is on that third panel at the top. Is it? Oh, it's somebody carrying he's walking towards you, isn't he? Carrying a sack on his back. Couldn't work it out.
But you're right. It is hard to see. It's hard to work out.
Has he just got his long johns on?
Guy's in his skivvies, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. And his bloomers.
It's long johns. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Got a little flap in the back.
Funny. You'd have a flap in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where's the outhouse?
On that second page there in the third panel, he's turned into Charles Bronson.
There, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I couldn't. Do you know? I couldn't for a second. That next panel, I couldn't see. I could see the teeth and the eyes and the hat, but I couldn't see his face just for a second.
Mm-hmm.
It's such a brown tone there. Yeah, yeah.
See that other page, they colored Blueberry his name. I think these were probably meant to be colored in, but they weren't. Those two words that are in big block lettering.
Here,
yeah. That looks like a photograph as well, where he's at the doorway with the rifle.
Here?
No, up. Well, that one, yeah. Especially that one.
Mm-hmm.
It's a nice worm's eye view shot. He does have the long johns on. Those should be solid red. The little flap in the back.
Well, I mean, they're faded. They're dirty. Come on.
Yeah.
Too much lye soap.
They'd have really stood out if they were faded red, pink, screaming.
Mm-hmm. You look like a plucked chicken.
It's always been the same man.
Do you think that wording there was intended to be colored, like his name Blueberry on the previous page?
Could be, yeah. Could be.
Mm-hmm.
It's in a yellow.
If that guy there,
the
face looking at you in the second tier on that one, does he have a mustache? Because same color, it looks like the same color of his skin if he does.
Yeah, it's his lip here.
Right.
He doesn't have a mustache now. A little bit of scraggly hair.
Stubble,
yeah. It's just such a dark brown, you can't see a lot of the detail there.
Mm-hmm. Ooh.
Bah.
Yeah.
Has he killed him?
Not good.
Damn it.
Yeah. Paw.
Oh, you got me. second to last panel though, in that gray is great. I wish the whole book was done like that. Nope.
Yeah, that looks like a Frank Bellamy type of panel in Thunderbirds. That one, that grey.
But that second panel, when you turn the page, that second panel, first page, it's just so dark.
Yeah,
I can almost see some Dan Spiegel in that face.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, great. They're the onrush of them firing, and I mean, just nothing wrong with the artwork. I mean, there's the shots, the clarity. It's just the coloring and the maybe balloons are, just really kill the pacing of this.
Yeah.
Clarity of what it could be.
Yep.
Pretty sad, actually. Because it's really, to use one of Glenn's words, brilliant work.
It is. Wow, that's a different layout here.
Those faces on the left, look at them there. They look different as well.
Yeah.
It looks like it's somebody else who's drawn it.
Mm-hmm.
They've all suddenly got a thick holding line around everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that panel next to him there with the house, it's like it's almost a photograph as well. There's nothing in there. There's nothing.
Yeah, it's a nice shot though. A little bit of lighting there.
I don't think I'll be buying these if I ever get the chance.
This all looks jammed in to me.
Yeah.
Like he's trying to move things faster than what he has been. He's got a lot of ground to cover and only so much space.
Same with the top tier.
If I bought it, it would be probably for his sense of space, depth of field on certain shots.
Really on this one.
In the earlier, the 60s, 70s ones were done a lot better when it came to coloring.
A lot more stylized. Yeah. Really on this, you'd buy it just to complete the set.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he's still jamming here.
This doesn't look like Moebius at all. I wonder if he's had any help on this, any sort of, studio apprentices type of thing to work on his designs.
He might have, but it's really just probably older work newer work. Yeah. There's been a lot of time passed and he's done a lot of things in between this. So he's trying to knock his science fiction style out of it and get more cinematic with it.
Like on the first page there, the last panel, that horse running there, the very last panel looks like a photograph as well, doesn't it?
Yeah. Here?
No, bottom right, the last panel.
No.
There, yeah.
You don't say it, Randy.
This looks nice though.
It does, yeah. It's very good.
And you can't see the panel here. It looks like part of the mountain.
Yeah.
So that's the way it's colored.
Well, it's Mount Rushmore. It's got the presidents and it's got Blu-ray on it.
Yeah. And it's a separate panel. You can't barely tell.
Yeah. Look, is that his hand on the panel? And it goes right into the mountain, doesn't it?
Yeah. Here.
Amazing.
See, that wouldn't have been so covered up if it wasn't for the color.
Yeah.
You'd have been able to tell that was a separate panel there if you were just reading it in black and white. Just that mound of brown right there. It's the same. Blends it together.
Well, even in the rendering, the drawing, like, the choices he makes, like you say, that panel where his hand goes into the mountain. You might have done it differently. You know, I give him a 98%. You know, I mean, there's.
And this looks better on camera than it does me looking at it straight on the book. This looks just almost one solid bit of dark gray here. But you can see a graduated tone when you're looking at it in the camera. It doesn't look nearly that good looking at it, at least from my angle. You can't see any type of color tone in here. It just looks pretty monotone all the way through. A little bit of brown down here. That's about it. And a lot of the same dark blue knocking out a lot of the detail. And here too, especially. This is all gone.
Is really, even if this was garish colors on the back end, you know, it's the exterior shots, the horses and things that are, I mean, his angles and things that kind of are the strong suit of this for me.
Mm-hmm.
It's still brilliant stuff.
Marv says he just hit halfway on his graphic novel. Just finished pencils on page 24. My graphic novel, 24 to go. Half pencil.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Good.
Hard work. All done traditionally.
I'm just trying to work out that middle panel on the second page at the bottom.
Here,
right at the bottom. Is that guy 300 feet tall? Are those full-size trees?
No, they're thin trees.
Are they behind him? Oh yeah, I got it. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like it.
It's difficult to see.
It is. And again, it's that coloring.
Yeah.
This is a really nice triple profile here that you can hardly see.
That's a real Rockwell composition, isn't it?
Yeah. This is nice. Here, it turned out well. Yep, getting tighter again, moving that story.
Do you know this coloring? It makes me not want to look at it. You know.
Yeah.
I wouldn't spend any time with it at all. It's a shame.
That's what I was saying earlier. It's kind of hard to look at.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Marv says he really likes the blue horses.
It's phenomenal when you consider around this time he was doing the Silver Surfer graphic novel.
Yeah.
And then this is just totally different, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Just the variety in his artwork is amazing. For what he can achieve, you know.
Yeah.
Love that first panel, first page shot with all the horses.
Mm-hmm.
What's the white circle at the top of that panel? What is it?
The moon.
The moon?
Isn't it? No. It's a set of 3 exclamation points by somebody apparently off camera.
Right.
Looked like smoke there at first glance.
Yeah. Huh.
Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah, it's a shame.
Yep. Very much so.
I wonder what people thought when they got it. You know, the editorial when the printed versions came in.
Don't know.
Whoa. Wow. Yeah, those word balloons just be popping.
Yeah, I was just going to say that all you can see is conversation there, like bubbles.
If you sort of lean back and look at it, all you can see is blobs of white.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Again, 3/4 of the detail are gone because the harsh coloring or the dark coloring. This here, especially, is just about gone right there. Just about gone. Back in here, can't see anything.
It's almost like you have a Rembrandt and someone has come in with some tomato soup and thrown it on it and say,
yeah, it is. Yeah,
yeah. It looks a lot brighter under the camera, again, than in here looking at it straight on.
Right. But I think we all saw the word balloons. That was the first thing that kind of jumped out.
Yeah.
Rad Artend Comics. Glad you're here. And she should have zip toned those bubbles. Yeah. They really stand out, don't they?
Same again.
Nicer face here. A lot of exposition here.
That's
info dumping.
That third panel, that train panel. What a missed opportunity. I mean, you can't see what's going on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sad.
And again, it looks lighter off of the camera from the way I'm looking at it than looking at it straight on.
The bottom panels, though, are brilliantly done on the first page, though. That's great stuff, but a lot of it is nice. Lost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lot to be said for brighter contrasting colors.
Are those posts dividing up that panel next to it?
No, this is one scene here. He's on a horse. They're on the porch with a lean.
Right, but the post you know, the way he's got it framed, it does. Yeah.
Here as well. No, he probably doesn't mean that.
Smaller little panel.
Yeah, he probably doesn't mean that as a passage of time, or he'd have done it in white, just like he did there. It's all meant to be one scene.
Yeah.
Them
right.
Standing on a porch with
and I read it as one scene. It's just an interesting. It's an interesting way to chop up one panel, you know.
Yeah, if the word balloons weren't there, though, it would all look like one scene. You know.
Mm-hmm. Well, it still looks like one scene to me. It's just.
Oh yeah,
it's interesting, and I really like that last panel next to it. You know, with the men on the edge there. That's cool. But again, it's kind of hard to see.
Yeah, this is nice. Very nice.
Mm-hmm. Too bad we can't see that train scene better, though.
That's as good as you get. It's better than what I got here. It's got to be Illustrator done, though. You know, it's got to be mechanical or digital separation here. Digital coloring.
Yeah.
Here, especially, you can see it. There's one solid next to it. There's
again, the word balloons just kind of overshadow everything that's going on for me.
Especially there. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah. It's a lot of talking.
Yeah, or just that all the way over to the left on the first page, those 6
here.
Yeah.
Very distracting.
Yes.
I mean, those first 2 panels are awful, aren't they, with all that wordage in there?
Yeah,
that's terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And then the wordage in the next 3 panels you can hardly read because they've been colorized.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that. Look at the second to last panel on that tier. Look at where he's standing up facing it. But look at that word balloon behind him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Huge. Look at that. Oh my God.
It's almost like it's on a movie screen.
Yeah.
Like an eye chart. Here, read
this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
We've projected my next dialogue here. Yeah. There's a projector just off camera.
That guy looks like General Custer.
It does.
But wouldn't it be wonderful to just get this in black and white and say, now you take a hand at it, you color it. I mean, you'd have a lot to work with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And not everybody could do it. Yeah. I mean, like that campfire scene with the play of light and everything. It may not be done perfectly, but it's better than a lot of artists could do.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Or like the scene where they're sitting around playing cards with the lighting sort of center focused.
Mm-hmm.
I like those two panels where he's crawling through the grass.
Mm-hmm. You almost can feel the damp air at night, you know, or something. I mean, it's, you know, the distance, the depth of field, just amazing, you know, that what he, I mean, crams into this. I mean, like the next to last panel on the first page, it's surrounded by word balloons, but I mean, you know, him up on the hill looking off, down in there, with the binoculars. It's, you know, just little scenes like that just, or the two that Glenn just pointed out, you know, it's wonderful. With just very minimal, you know, how he can very clearly and concisely show you the space and environment that you're looking at.
Mm-hmm.
It is amazing, though, that the last part of this has very little, you know, coloring. I mean, from where we started out, because it was so garish at the beginning.
This coloring's great now.
So saturated.
It's getting better the farther in they go. This is pretty good here.
You know, he's lost his blue rinse.
Yeah.
That's a good move. It's a lot better.
Well, it was on the previous page.
He's back to dark gray here in his hair. Just kind of picks up right about here and then takes off. Much better.
Well, the guy knows how to tell a story and tell it very dramatic. You know, I mean,
definitely does.
As far as the shots are concerned. Now, pacing might be a little different.
The shadow here. Nice. Oh yeah, that's got to be a different colorist.
Has to be
coming in. This must be Moebius coming in and taking care of the end of the story or something. So it's night and day. So much better. Go back to a little bit more graduated tones here.
I really personally wouldn't want to, you know, if I'd done the artwork and they showed me the first part of this, that's the way it's going to be colored, I said, don't release it. I don't want my stuff colored like that because it just ruins the art.
It might have been pressed on a deadline again. It is a whole different technique than the front here.
It's probably called a nice check.
That could be.
I guess. It's.
You see, look on that first page of the bottom left panels where it's gone pang and pang. I wouldn't have coloured those letters in.
Yeah.
At the bottom and everywhere. Yeah. I wouldn't have coloured those letters, those sound effects in.
Yeah.
Kind of gets lost.
It does. That's kind of this panel here impresses me as just a kind of a thrown in panel just to show the gunshots. Anyway,
Has
yeah.
Has he been shot in the leg? Or is it?
Like
oh no, it's the other guy leaning on him, isn't it? At the top left,
yeah.
on the next page, at the top. Yeah, I thought it was his leg, but he's leaning on him, isn't it? Because I'm going to say a few panels down, he's standing up and he's been shot in the leg, but obviously he's not.
Missing half his head there.
Yeah. I'm not
if you had
on
to kind of strain, go ahead.
That's okay. Go on, carry on.
I was just going to say, if you had to strain at the clarity, you know, it takes you out of the experience, and you know, you kind of lose your audience.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That guy leaning against the wall with the burnt face reminds me of is it Molark in Watchmen?
Yeah. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I was going to say that I'm not a fan of the. There's a lot of it on these 2 pages of the word balloon with the in it, you know, with the exclamation marks in it. You know, the reaction.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not keen on that. Yeah. Not keen on that at all. It reminds me of
probably more of a European thing, though, isn't it? Because it's been seeded throughout the story.
Yeah. You're saying, Glenn?
It reminds me of Marine Boy. You remember that cartoon when they used to go, Marine Boy, look out, and he used to go like that all the time. That's what he's doing there.
Animation.
Yeah, those early Japanese animated shows were like that. Hurry up, Speed! Yeah.
Go, Speed Racer, go.
Those are nice drawings, aren't
wow.
they? Wow. Yeah, fantastic.
It just got a lot better with the coloring, and it's his angles.
I want to see what's covered up by these damn word balloons, though.
Yeah. It's a nice shot here.
Seems like a lot was left on the cutting floor when they put this thing together.
Yeah.
That 6th panel, first page, are you supposed to get a sense of where the movement of the train, or where it's, I mean, it's kind of lost.
Yeah. Looks like one's following the other.
Like it's winding about, yeah. Lead your eye.
Yep.
It's really kind of tragic.
Yeah.
I mean, look
nice
at that
sunset over the hills, though.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Big splodge of word balloon there on the 2nd page at the top. Half the artwork is covered. It's just awful.
Yes, it is.
Mm-hmm. I've got this project. We'll get Moebius to draw it, and we'll cover up most of it with word balloons. Brave. Yeah. People love it.
And then we'll destroy the rest with color.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I can't believe sales on this was too good.
Well, like you said before, Westerns weren't really in favor at this point. So,
yeah.
They released it because it was Moebius, and it was, you know, iconic storytelling. They wouldn't do it today, that's for sure. They'd never reprint this stuff. Marvel would never reprint it unless they owned it.
If somebody hit you on the head with an iron bar, would you say, ouch?
Yeah.
I don't think you'd say anything. It'd kill you.
I don't think I'd say anything. Yeah. Better use of a sound effect there, like crushing bone or something.
Yeah.
Depending on how hard he was hit.
Oh,
And some of these faces, like this bearded mustache guy, I just see some Don Heck influence. You know, maybe it's the squinty eyes, or see a lot of Don Heck in some of these.
Those on both those pages, the bottom two tiers, I can't see any drawings at all with all the balloons on it.
Yeah,
it's terrible. It's awful.
Just slaughtered. Little profile there, little front on.
What's he saying? There. What is he saying? For instance, if you don't arrive at the tunnel soon.
Yeah, you don't arrive at that tunnel soon, his men'll be getting suspicious. Alistair's sure to have given them orders. All they need's a couple of well-placed charges on the mountaintop to start a landslide that'll completely bury all 3 trains. That's that balloon alone. So no matter what we do, we're at risk. Somehow, I'd wager you have a plan. I do, sir. It's based on Alistair's orders to let the lead train pass safe, so as not to alert you.
That second to last panel where you read the balloon, the side view of him, the profile of the colouring on that's good on that cheek, and his
it's better.
Chin, that's nice. It's
like
definitely
the light here.
It's definitely Charles Bronson, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like we said last week, it's either Charles Bronson. This is Charles Bronson, or if you wanted a prettier version, it would have been Michael Landon.
Yeah.
Or maybe even Bobby Ewing.
A sun-dried Michael Landon.
Go
ahead, Rex.
I like the snow work in the first page. Just the indication of it in the foreground on the third panel, and then that I really like that fourth panel. If it weren't for the word balloons,
yeah,
nope.
Oh, again. It's like they've got. Like I said, shit, we've got 3 pages left. We've got 15 pages of story and 3 pages of art to do. Get it all in.
Yeah, I got that impression about 12 pages back.
Yeah.
They're just jamming. Suddenly all of the balloons picked up, all the dialogue doubled. Yeah.
They've had the reports back of sales because of the colouring. They've cancelled the last 2 issues, so they've had to put it into one. And all the sound effects and everything going on, like the pause and all that exclamation, they don't put one in for the explosion at the end.
No. They do for the whistle here, though.
They let it speak for itself.
Yeah.
I'm glad they don't put it in there, actually.
Yeah, it needs it would normally have a batoon, wouldn't it, or something like that. But you're right.
Great shot of right next to it with the train coming right at you with all the steam and the smoke and everything.
Yeah. Here. This is a couple of seconds after a huge geyser of fire escapes from the fissure, lighting up the night sky. The powerful blast literally tearing the inside of the mountain to shreds. Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen a Western portrayed so effectively, but yeah, the word balloons and the coloring, just big missed opportunity here for greatness.
Yeah. Well, and again, they're running a lot tighter than what they were before. They were taking more time, more space to tell the story. Here, like Glenn said, they're probably tied up for time, so they had to finish everything up in a hurry. What do you mean these albums can only be 48 pages? Holy crap. Yeah.
Yeah. Look at him hanging onto that rock. Help.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All hell's breaking loose on that first page, first 3 panels, but it seems condensed, like you said.
Yeah, that could have easily been a page, just that tier.
Uh-huh.
And then this should have been bigger as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's crunched for space here.
Your cliffhanger got regulated to a small panel.
Yeah.
Literally.
Almost a joke. Mm-hmm.
Back to these crowd scenes again.
That show a soldier should never go up against any Native Americans, because he's the very definition of red man, the way he's colored, even his hair, in that, you know, has a pinkish tinge to it.
One more page. Here we are. Nice finishing.
It's kind of exhausting. It's almost like sensory overload. You know, some of this. There's so much going on to begin with the artwork, and then the way it's just executed. It's kind of really exhausting.
Yep.
Well, that's quite a disappointing end from what we started out with, isn't it?
End of the trail. Yeah.
Anticlimactic.
And that drawing we said before only looks like a visual, doesn't it?
It looks like it was a panel that they just blew up for the cover. Yeah. They had a painting in here for the cover. There.
They should have used that.
Yeah.
Well, that panel to me, that cover to me looks like a rough for the cover that was never, and they never rendered it. You know, just an idea.
Yeah, but that's more in his
like concept
science fantasy style too.
Yeah,
that the especially the way that it's inked here. Yeah, it's Blueberry 5, folks. The end of the trail. Show your Moebius.
There's one thing I like about the cover, though. There's no damn word balloon.
Very true. And how did they had to really resist, because there's such a wide open space.
I know.
What can we put in that space?
Finally, Blueberry's last adventure. Yeah. Or if it was Stan Lee, because you demanded it.
Yeah.
Blueberry's final astounding tale. Yeah.
Glenn could put a crikey there, right there. Just put
crikey.
That too.
Yeah.
Marvie says not easy to avoid sound effects. Yeah, sometimes. That's Blueberry 5, folks. Epic Comics, 1980. From work done years before by Moebius.
1990, right?
1990.
Not 1980.
Sorry. 1990. Yeah.
That was when it was published.
Yeah, published in 90. Published in 90, work in 83. Yep.
83. Okay.
Yeah.
Still vastly different. I mean, from the last one we looked at.
Yeah, but still, it's still great stuff. It's just got its flaws, you know. Still beautiful work.
Oh, it's brilliant, you know. But yeah, it's got its problems.
Definitely. Folks, we're really glad you swung by today. Deeply appreciate you being here, especially in this little space between Christmas and New Year's. This Sunday Funnies, we're going to be looking at something completely different. And now for something completely different. We'll be looking at an issue of
Mad
Sinister
Magazine.
House of Secret Love. No, that's April. We'll look at Mad Magazine April.
Wow,
Sinister House of
these
Secret
hot
Love.
these
Go
yeah
ahead.
these are lower print run, I think, on these that come out.
This comic is
and you
has
rarely
been well. Go ahead.
You rarely
rarely-
see an oval on a cover.
Well, it's patterned after the old style Gothic romance books.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it's a romance, isn't it?
Yeah, it looks like a cover, except for the trade dress here, of an old Gothic romance, because it's a Gothic romance story inside. But it's a great one, done by the great Alex Toth, written by Frank Robbins. We'll take a closer look at that on Sunday, folks. The Bride and the Falcon.
When is that
from?
And
Go
that
ahead.
was published 1970, very early 70s.
70. Said looking at the edition, 72. 72.
72.
It's still got the insult ad for the Charles Atlas bodybuilding. The insult that made a man out of Mac.
Yeah. I think that thing went all the way back maybe to the
40s.
50s at least, if not
Yeah, at
40s.
least.
Yeah.
Sinister House of Secret Love this Sunday Funnies, folks. I hope you'll swing by and take a look. It's a great story.
Issue
even though
number what? 3?
Number 3.
Yeah.
Even though the book is tattered and a little waterlogged, it's the only copy I was ever able to find or have ever seen. So when I saw it, I had to pick it up.
Yeah.
And
these are
it's a
harder
great-
to find, you know.
great example.
Yeah.
All those romance books are hard to find anymore because they're collectability.
It's kind of a reprint issue too. 52 big pages for 25 cents. They put in some new material with some old material, did they not, on those?
I don't think so. I think this is all. It is an unusual one. Usually, yes, they would do that. There's kind of a prose story in the back here.
Okay.
Will I ever see you again? But the whole rest of that's the Alex Toth story. But normally, yes, the old 52 pagers, they'd always throw a reprint story in the back. But I think this story ran long, so they ran that and a little prose piece back behind it.
The guy looks like
illustration piece.
The guy looks like he's cleaning his pool until you realize he's on a gondola.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why she can't go back, because she messed up the pool. And he's having to clean it.
The Bride of the Falcon on Sunday, folks. Next Friday, we'll look at something else. It might be the Inkle. I'm not sure. We'll find some great sequential art to take a look at.
Charles Vest, right?
We looked at the Raven banner on last Sunday. That was Charles Vest.
Mm-hmm.
This here is Alex Toth.
What's the
written by
Falcon
Frank
book?
Robbins, inked by Toth art, written by Frank Robbins and inked by Frank Giacoia. Giacoia.
What's the Falcon book?
Just told you.
Oh, that's Toth as well?
Yeah, this is Toth. Yeah.
Okay, but that's not the Falcon book.
That's
Is
the
it?
Bride of the Falcon is the name of the story.
Yeah, okay, the little subtitle. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Sorry for the confusion. The name of the book, the name of the comic is The Sinister House of Secret Love. Great stuff, folks.
I actually have a production artwork that is very similar to that by Gray Morrow, and it even uses that oval.
Yeah.
That was one reason I bought it, because that was the first use of an oval on a cover that I'd seen. I didn't know this one was out there.
They use that a lot for Gothic romance books. There's a series of Dark Shadow prose books that are all ovals like this on the cover. A lot of Harlequin romances were laid out like that at one point too. This is back when DC was trying to appeal to a different and wider audience. You know, Lois Lane Comics was still running, and they still had romance books going until about the mid 70s. Secret Love and I can't remember what the other titles are. A Girl, a Moon, a Romance, maybe. I don't know.
The place I used to work,
Young Love,
like that white space there, that have filled that up with stuff.
Yeah. So would a Stan Lee. He would fill that up too. Yep. Folks, thanks so much for stopping by. We deeply appreciate you being here. We do this because we love looking at this stuff. This is classic sequential art, the power of comics. Folks, you don't have to like the new stuff, but if you're not looking at the alternative market, the independent market, and the older material, you're really missing out on some great, fantastic work. And that's why we're here. We love to show this stuff off for your viewing pleasure and talk about it, dissect it, be inspired by it. And we hope you are too. Thanks again for stopping by. We know the majority of our viewers are after the fact. So if you could, no matter when you watch this program, please hit that like button. Please leave a comment. Let us know if there's something else you want us to cover. Do you really want to see Sin City by Frank Miller? Because we can look at that.
Yeah.
If you really want to see it, we can take a look at that. There's all sorts of great stuff coming next year. I can't tell you the range. We'll be looking at Impact from EC Comics, Mad, both comics and magazine from EC Comics. I can guarantee you that. New Gods probably by Jack Kirby. More Monster Bus in October. Those great old monster stories by Lee and Kirby and Ditko and whoever else they could grab. We'll look at more Ditko next year as well. More Wood on the way, and more of your suggestions. So let us know what you want us to take a look at. We'll be more than happy to take that under consideration. We deeply appreciate you being here, especially
it's all contingent. It's all contingent on Randy's collection.
Well, no, there's a lot of. We've all got collections. We can all show stuff off. I'm not the only one, but we want to. I've got a lot of this stuff. I don't have everything, but I've got a lot of it. So, and then I'd also like to bump into that. There's a public domain site and take a look at some of those Crime Does Not Pay comics. That would be fun too. And I think that would give us, those are some good scans off of the comics that are probably better than my gunky camera here. So we might take a look at that material as well. Marv says, thank you for keeping me company. I'll share later. Frankenstein by George Bess in the group. There you go. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you Sunday. Take care. Thanks, Marvy. Appreciate you being here. Appreciate everybody being here. And we'll be back. We'll be live at least through the middle of February. We'll be broadcasting live. And even then, we'll do recorded programs. I've got a convention coming up in February. I'll be at the Great Lakes Con. They're selling Arrow comics there for anybody stopping by if you're in the middle of Michigan.
Oh, you know where Russ is today? Today's his birthday.
Is it really? Oh, I forgot.
Yeah, today's Russ Leach's birthday. No wonder he's not here.
Wish Russ a very happy birthday.
He's 25.
20. Yeah, he's 25.
Yeah.
Be awesome to see some old horror Arrow books. I don't know what that would be. Dead World, maybe?
Mm-hmm.
Dead World. You can always look at that. I've got the collection of Vince.
Russ is 3 years younger than me.
So he is 35 then, huh?
Yeah.
Pinocchio. Come on.
Hey, listen, it's my birthday in 2 weeks.
Yeah. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Mine was in October, but anyway.
That's
Rex.
Next year.
Yeah, next year. Rex, tell folks how they can find you.
You can find me on the 4 o'clock shadow, 4 o'clock Central. Today we will be celebrating 3 years of content put up on my channel. Project over on Fund My Comic, and I have the Ashcan up on Indiegogo. So check it out under Devil Flyer.
Great. Glenn, tell folks how they can find you.
You can find me on this show with Randy Friday and Sundays. I'll give you the details of that. But if you go to Amazon or Google and put my name in, you'll find lots of things there by me. You'll find all my 12 books on Amazon. plus magazines and stuff like that. So just Google my name and you'll find me somewhere.
Rad Artland says Ronan. Yes, I've got Ronan sitting on my coffee table in the living room right now. Been looking through that. We'll definitely take a look at that next year, Rad. So make sure you stay tuned for that.
I've got a
we are here every
production art from Ronan.
Do you? Cool. That's great. We're here every Friday morning. Oh, sorry, Rex. Didn't mean to step on you. Are you good?
I'm good.
Good. We're here every Friday morning, 5 a.m. and Sunday mornings. That's Eastern time, 5 a.m. Eastern time. And we're here Sunday morning for the Sunday Funnies at 9 a.m. Eastern time as well. All looking at this great sequential art. Great stuff. Love this stuff. That's why we love showing it off. You can find me if you want to talk to me. I'll be over on Facebook most of the time. X, just not a lot, but a little over there. But other than that, you can find Arrow Comics over at arrowcomics.com or arrowcomics.store. You can find the Shadow Kingdom right now over at Amazon and Barnes & Noble, or any place where any bookstore that orders under the Ingram system has access to that book. So go over there and request it. It's a direct adaptation of a Robert E. Howard story, the first Cull tale, the first American sword and sorcery story, the one that started the genre, the Shadow Kingdom. It's got King Cull taking rulership of Valusia and finding out there's a conspiracy to overthrow his kingdom by a race of shape-shifting lizard people. So, and how he has to deal with that. Plus, the Atlantean is fulfilled. You should have copies by now. Anybody that bought into that campaign, Atlantean 1. If not, and if you didn't get in on that campaign, it's going to be available through the same retail outlets. CriticalBlast.com will have that, as well as Arrow Comics, Barnes & Noble, Amazon, any place where you can order those Ingram books. The first Atlantean, that continues the characters in the Shadow Kingdom off on their own original adventures that I wrote, and Russ Leach went through and did some fantastic artwork on. Atlantean 2 is currently being drawn up. The script has been done, and Russ is working off of that, and I'm working on the script for Atlantean 3 now. Atlantean 2 will be offered over at fundmycomic.com in March. And if you want to be on a mailing list for that, Russ has one over at russleach.com. He doesn't bombard you with a lot of newsletters, usually once a week or once every other week or so. He's pretty good about not bombarding you with a lot of stuff. But go over to russleach.com now and sign up for the mailing list there. I see that. Anyway. And there's a lot more to come, a lot more Arrow Comics coming in 2025. We have a lot of plans, and you'll see hopefully a few more books from me as well coming out from Critical Blast and Arrow Comics, collections of stuff that I've been wanting to get out for a while. My camera just went fuzzy. That's great. Anyway,
yeah.
Folks, we deeply appreciate you being here. We hope you enjoyed this program. If you did, tell your friends. And we are archived over at the Comic Book Black Belt YouTube channel, the Randy Zim YouTube channel, and the Indie Comics Network YouTube channel, where they have all of our programming. We've been doing this, I think, for a couple of years now. I know it's over a year and a half, and there's some great programming up there. We've gone through Watchmen and just a ton of great material, and there's so much more to come. So much more to come, and we're glad that you're here. Tell your friends, like I said.
Happy birthday, Russ Leach.
Hit the
like
like button.
You.
Yeah, happy birthday, Russ. Hope you're hope you're doing okay.
Sober.
Well, no, you don't have to be sober, buddy, but it's your birthday. There you go. Have a great weekend, everybody. Have a happy new year. We will see you, I think, on the other side at this point, right? This is our last show of the year.
No, Sunday.
No, Sunday. Sunday's the 29th. Yeah, you're right. We'll be back on Sunday. That'll be our last show of the year.
We'll be on Sunday, but Randy might not be here because he thinks he's finished for the year.
Who knows? I'll be pre-recorded. Everybody else will be live. Then we won't have to worry about Rex being delayed. There we are. Folks, take care. thanks again for being here. Deeply appreciate it. Go visit your local retailer, especially this time of year, because they can use all the help they can get. It's hitting that year end for your local retailer. They're closing out their books for the year, and they could really use whatever support you can throw their way. Go to fundmycomic.com and take a look at those great campaigns over there. There's new campaigns starting all the time. A wide variety of comics for everybody's taste, all sorts of different things up there. We've got Cecil, Mike Barron pops up there, and just a whole group of folks. And you're going to see a lot more here in this next year. A lot of big names will be coming over there, and a lot of great products as well being offered for you to buy into. And again, folks, take care. Have a great weekend.
See ya.
And we'll see everybody soon. He said, scrolling really fast. Here we are.
It means you're a catcher, not a pitcher.
Maybe not. Exactly that.
Joke's on you, bitch. I love this shit.
Yep.
Draw the Flintstones naked. There's a market for that.
And it was this desire to lead in gumball innovation that would change everything forever.
What we were trying to do was make the gumballs more orange, but what we did instead was open a rift in the space-time continuum, unleashing a godlike entity. You know, it happened.
Smell this shoe.
Excuse me.
Taste the biscuit. Taste the goodness of the biscuit.